Hello and welcome to my return shave to Rough Park. It is a beautiful spring day, April 2nd, a Saturday. The spot to my right is where I had my last shave. I'm not too crazy about how it turned out. As you can see, this portion here has yet to bloom. Some of it has here, but not to fear or fret, because this place is huge. Way down yonder is where my wife and I are set up. I'm surrounded by pink magnolias. And I'll see you in a moment when I get down there. Alright, I got my setup. Today I'm inside this little grove here. Both my mirrors, my tripod. I'll hang my waters and whatnot's there. Back home, well, not at home, but back in town. So I have my old work stool, my bowls. Let's get this thing going. My pre-shave will be my go-to scentless from Phoenix, my scoop from Smilez, tobacco flower from Moon Soaps, the Mighty Midget from Omega, Winsor from English Laundry, and then I have my Zeppelin from Seygus, and my holsters from Mike, aka Old Fart Mike in Germany on Instagram. Let me do a 360. Yeah, that's about it. Let's get into this. I'll go a little high here. My beautiful bride is reading a book right here to my left. Oh, look at that. It went perfectly over her head. I try to get as many things over her head as I can, but she's a smart cookie, and I don't succeed too often. I actually quit trying a long time ago. This is my 360 of my shave spot, in the beautiful magnolias. Today, in my blade bank, I brought with me a new blade to me, Procter & Gamble, aka Gillette's London Bridge. My most recent purchase from Shave Supply. I needed to spend a couple more dollars to take advantage of their, what, $45 free shipping. Let's do this, and let's see how many looks I can get from people walking by in front of me. You won't be able to see them, but I will. My go-to has been applied. I love that stuff because it is scentless. I want to get the current one that he has right now, the cube that's green. Probably have to wait till next year. Green, just because of ducks, the Oregon ducks. I'm using my what's been called the Mighty Midget. It's I wrote it down. The brush number is, the model number is 11047. I bought my first one several years ago from West Coast Shaving, and I think I only paid like $12. A couple of websites that I checked before today for this video were out. Pasteur did have it. West Coast had it, and Amazon does have it for $19.90, and I believe that's coming from Safety Razor Place, which is a company that I bought lots of blades from my eBay store. They are a good, reliable source. Tobacco flower from Moon Soap was my first soap from Melody and Zachary. Got this flower here. My mirrors are set up. I'm gonna try not to use the camera or the cell phone. Oh, it smells so good. You got tobacco flower and oak moss. Those are the two main characters that make up the scent profile. but also your supporting characters, the supporting role. There's amber, lavender, and rosemary. Clean and green is what they have on their sales page as one of the descriptors. I couldn't agree more. When I had my wife smell it, it's one of the first words that came out of her mouth. And while I'm not surrounded by tobacco flowers, I am surrounded by magnolias, and I thought that would be an appropriate fragrance for today. I said in a previous video, I'm not an arborist. I do my homework. And I'll attach my resource into the description. 210 species of magnolias are known worldwide. There's like 32 that are common to North America. Here in the park that I'm at, there's countless. I actually don't even know if they have a number listed. I'll try and find that exact number. From the same resource, I learned that magnolias, let's see here. I'm gonna bend this guy gently up out of my way. We'll see it in a minute. Yep, it'll hold right there, perfect. Magnolias are the oldest known flowering plant. There's been the two oldest fossils found of them is 20 million years old, and then there's another fossil that they found that was 95 million years old. And if they're right, that would make them older than bees. And from the resource that I used, they've actually evolved to not need bees. They have evolved in such a way that it's a beetle that aids them in their pollination. And it's actually not a nectar that they produce, it's this protein-rich something or other. I'll attach a couple of things here or there for you. I thought that was all super cool. A couple of other things I learned was, one, they can live for over 100 years, so more than a century. And to top it all off, they're just gorgeous. And the fragrance that they put off. Oh, is there a shave soap like this? If so, put it in the comments. I can't think of any Magnolia soaps offhand. I tried thinking about that just before my wife and I left the house to come here for a return trip. The razor I'm using today is a Bullgoose exclusive. Seygus is out of Spain. Oh, you probably will see that well. I'm going to attach more photos of it. This is not the 21 model, but the 2020 model. I wanted to get the newest model. Yeah, I'll just attach pictures. I'm failing on showing it off to you. But the 2021 model came in a different handle. And it came with an additional head option. The one I have would be the medium efficiency. There's a 5, and there's the 7, and then with the 21 they came out with a 9, and I really wish that the head would have been offered by itself, because that's really all I wanted. Don't get me wrong, I liked the handle. It's just I prefer the handle that I already have. It's, give me a second here, set my bottle down right in my way of placing my bowl. I just really love the feel of this handle in my hands, the look of it. It's a little longer. You know, I prefer a shorter handle, 3.5 inches. It's about 4. That's okay. It's not, you know, deal breaker or anything, like I've said before. I do like a longer handle as long as everything is balanced out. That's one of the things I found, is not with all razors, but with some over the years, not very many of the modern ones, but they tend to, the longer the handle gets, the more off center, in my opinion, it seems that some of them become, to where they just become super head heavy. And that's okay, of course, with some razors, some types, but I think that's kind of why I've gravitated to shorter handles. A lot of the vintage ones seem to be better balanced with the shorter handles. The one side of the head on this, and I've tried to pay attention to see if I can ever notice a difference. The one side, you got this scallop going on the safety bar, and the other one is a straight. I've never really noticed much of a difference. I've tried several times to pick up on differences. The London Bridge blade is doing extremely well in it. It feels great. While I'm not a fan of Procter & Gamble, and I typically try to avoid all their products, it's really hard when it comes to DE blades because they make so many of them. And I enjoy most or all of them in one razor or another. I found in my experience that every razor has a handle, and every handle has a razor. And by that I mean I've found many blades that I don't like in a particular razor. This razor handle here, for example, the Gillette Platinum and the Gillette Silver Blue, I love, but they don't perform as well in this head as most of my other razors. Years ago when I was getting started out, I made the mistake of judging blades by how they performed in just one or two razors. With the more experience I got, I learned that when I didn't like a blade in a particular razor, that I just needed to set it aside and come back to it. I've also learned to do that with fragrances, that I try not to go by my initial perception of a fragrance. It's, you know, definitely something that brings me back to it. But with blades and with fragrances, there's been so many times that when I first get my hand on it or nose on it, that I'm not crazy about it. But then a few months later, when I try the fragrance again, or when I try the blade in a different handle, or maybe even the same head, maybe it's just my technique in that razor, which is why you see so many guys talking about, you know, not changing variables when they're experimenting with new stuff. It's one of the things I like about the way Matt Pisarcik does his videos. He always uses, you know, the boring white Perazzo and, you know, blah blah blah, but it's extremely important that we keep the variables. But before I squirrel out here, I do think it's important to never judge a blade just by one or two razors. That, for me, I have found that all mass-produced blades will perform well in one razor handle, head, or another. It's just, I've never found a bad blade. I've just found blades that I needed to find a handle for, and that's something that's taken me time to understand. I'm going to pause this just real quick. Moon soaps. I've been wanting to try them for a while, and I finally got around to it a couple of months ago. Tobacco flower was my first, and then immediately had to have Sorrento and Old School. Old School is Melody and Zach's first shave soap. They've been making shave soaps for over 10 years now. Not shave soaps, they've been making soaps like cold processed and other body products for over 10 years. My understanding is Zachary got into wet shaving And from there, he and Melody started making shave soaps. I have to figure out exactly this. I think it was a couple of years ago they got into the shave soap game. I'll do my homework before I post this video, and I'll add an addendum. Is that the right word? I got soap on my nose, which isn't hard to do when you got a honker the size of a freaking beak. They are out of California. Monterey Bay is what I read. Monterey Bay is about the middle of California, just south of San Fran, but way north of LA. I've always said that LA is a great place to be from, but it's not a place I really want to hang out. I think a lot of California is like that for me. But they call Monterey Bay home. And if you ever Googled it, or if you've ever been there, you know that that part of California, well, the entire California coast, from the Oregon border all the way down to Baja, is just absolutely gorgeous. But I do really like that area. And if you go north from there, up the 101, it's just gorgeous, all the way up into British Columbia. Moon soaps, extremely slick, great cushion from all their bases. If I remember right, they have 4 different bases. That's actually still in production, which is rare. There's only a couple other companies out there that do anything like that. Falling apart again here. They make everything from scratch, including rendering their own tallow. From what I've noticed, there's no shortcuts, no cheap fragrance oils, no cheap essential oils. Everything they're doing from the top shelf and from the heart. And with these first 3 products of theirs, it shows. Zachary makes some beautiful brushes. I don't own any yet. I've had my eye on several of them, and his brushes are so beautiful that if you're not there right when they drop, it's gone. I've heard great thing about the knots that they have to offer, and I would love to eventually have a few of his brushes in my den. Let's get a couple of cleanups right here in my regular trouble spots right here and here, and then of course under the jaw right here. Can you still hear that? All right, let's clean up. I heard from John Bonham that they're redoing Sorrento. To what extent or degree that is, I don't know. I love Sorrento. So if they're changing it, I can only guess that they're going to make something that's amazing, even more amazing-er. I love the fragrance of Sorrento. So I'm really excited, or curious, what changes they are doing with it, because I love it. I really do. From the label that they designed themselves to everything about the fragrance and the performance is just, it's top tier. Moon Soaps is the real deal. I always knew that I was going to like them just from the little bit that I'd read about them, which is one of the reasons, you know, that I knew as soon as I bought one, I'd have to buy more. And that's exactly what's happened here. I want all of their products in my den. I still can't decide if I want to add Tradewinds or Union next, after watching John Bonham's latest video. Amaretto is high on my list. I've already got a few soaps similar to that. I just scored Elysian, which I'll talk about in another video that I'll be doing later this week. Her cherry tobacco is amazing, and my understanding is amaretto falls into that same kind of category. And the scent profile just sounds delicious. This London Bridge has done extremely well in my Seygus, and this is the Zeppelin. If you've never checked out Bullgoose Shaving, I highly recommend doing so. The world's best customer service is found there, and everything that Phil has on his shelves, if you will, is top of the line. It all is. It's all premium stuff. This little brush, don't ever under or overestimate it, guys. It is easily the smallest brush in my den. 23 millimeter, 22 millimeter knot. The loft is 43 millimeters. The total height of 75 millimeters. The size comparison there is it's small, but it's definitely earned the name, or the nickname of Mighty for a reason. It is a badger boar mix. Let's see how much of a cleanup here I can do on video this time. A badger boar mix, I believe it's a 60-40. Leaning heavier on the badger. I love the mixed knots. I have one from Maggard and then Smogs, and I really love how they perform. And this Mighty Midget performs just as well as that giant knot that I have in my Maggard and the Smog. And they're 2, 3 times, 4 times bigger. This little thing kicks ass. It really does. In fact, I have 2 of them. I was able to get another one in this lot sale that's brand new, so I have it put up as a backup for when this one eventually fails. And so far, it's held up perfectly. Like so many brushes, the label has worn off or is wearing off, but it's epic. It really is. So I think I've done well enough with my cleanup. And get a little bit of water on the face. Again, today's soap has been Tobacco Flower by Moon Soaps. Small company owned by Melody and Zachary Kent out of Monterey Bay, California. You've seen my other videos, that makes them right up my alley. Being a small family-owned business that's making superior products, and for me, that's what this wet shaving hobby is all about. It's supporting small business, buying amazing products, and getting one hell of a shave, and having fun while I do it. I also heard a rumor that they're making an aftershave, which splash, which is pretty exciting. This balm is amazing. I've actually used some of the Sorrento on my face. It's like a moisturizer. Oh, tobacco flower smells so damn good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with another little squirt for good measure. Again, my razor is the Seygus Zeppelin with the number 7 head is what they call it. Bullgoose exclusive. They're kind of the limited edition, so that one is no longer available. Phil's always getting in amazing products. Most of them I miss out on. Dang, the Mighty Midget, the 11047, missed a couple of spots right here, 11047 model number, my London Bridge. And then today I thought I need to start doing more things I could do at home, and so I always finish off a shave with a splash or cologne. Today I'm using Winsor from English Laundry. First discovered this set a few years back for my birthday or a Father's Day or Christmas. My wife started getting me these birch boxes. Is that what they're called, right? Birch box. And in one of those birch boxes was not this bottle. It was a small little bottle, but fell in love with it instantly. She and I both did. It was a winner chicken dinner from the get. And so we went out, or she went out and bought me a big bottle for another holiday or something, birthday or something, and was burning through that when one day we were at either Ross or Marshall's, one of the two, and found a killer deal that had this small bottle, a giant bottle, and then what was it, shampoo or something, right?
Lotion, I think.
Yeah, shampoo or lotion or something. I wasn't too impressed with the shampoo or the lotion, but kind of hard to please anymore with that category. But the fragrance, how would you describe it? Leathery.
Yeah,
Rich. Oh, I don't know. I'll attach the exact notes, but this is something that will always be in my den. I got enough of it that even if I wanted to knock it out at this point, it'd be hard, because she got me a giant bottle, and then I got another giant bottle with the small bottle. And so yeah, I got Winsor for days. Thanks once again for joining me at Rough Park. Let's bring this Magnolia back to its happy place. Hope you all have a great spring, and take care of yourself. Until next time.